Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. And we have a lot to cover, so I'm going to get straight to it with my friend Paul Carroll with Efficient Wealth Management. That website, efficientwealthmanagement.com. He's a regular contributor on the program. Always delighted to have him on. How are you today, sir?
I'm great. Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Doing great, thanks. Tell us real quickly, first of all, Efficient Wealth Management, I think is a fantastic story. I like to tie it, to tell that story, but frankly, you do a better job than I do. Tell us about Efficient Wealth Management, and then introduce us to your guest today.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Yes, Efficient Wealth Management is a boutique wealth management firm based in the Woodlands, Texas. And we've been working with a team of experts using a consultative approach to help our clients not only protect their wealth, but also mitigate their taxes, take care of their heirs, protect their assets from being unjustly taken, and maximize the impact of charitable planning. This morning, we're working with David Matos. He's a CPA here in the Woodlands, and David's got an interesting story. He's working with a lot of international businesses.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Paul, and good morning, Kevin. I'm doing well.
Go ahead and start with your elevator speech.
Well, we're also based out of the Woodlands, Texas, and we're also considered a boutique CPA firm. Essentially, what we do is we look after those individuals that are interested in coming to the U.S. from a number of different locations, whether it is Europe, Central America, or South America, and even recently some folks have come in from Asia that are interested in investing in things such as real estate, especially on the commercial side. That's one of the hottest sort of buttons these days with, of course, Exxon coming into town and some of the other corporate moves into the Woodlands lately. This has caused the price of commercial real estate to go up significantly. So we look after their interests here as far as, taxes are concerned and work with folks like you, Paul, to ensure that their investments in the States are protected, especially from a tax standpoint.
Yeah, very good. Paul?
Yeah, well, David, that's interesting. So a lot of your focus is on real estate transactions for new businesses coming in. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And the price of oil has dropped. Well, I don't know what it is right now. It's about 85 or something. Certainly, it's not nosebleed territory anymore. Are you seeing this as have you perceived any impact on the market at all yet?
Well, interesting enough, because a lot of these individuals come from governments that are not very stable, they don't necessarily see the sort of the investment opportunities in things other than real estate as being very secure. Of course, when they come into the U.S., we open their eyes and we talk to them about our stock market and investment opportunities and things such as what you do and specialize in. And, that opens, a whole host of additional investment opportunities for them. But they initially come in and they're interested in purchasing real estate, and usually it's in the $5 to $10 million range. So it's a good range for all of us to help them with.
By the way, I just realized you and I had met before, David.
Yes, we did, Kevin.
Yeah, you've been on the
absolutely.
show before, and we got to chat quite a bit when I went to an event out there. It's good to talk to you again, and I figured that out by checking out your fine website over there at Matos CPA. That's MATOSCPA.com. Paul, your question.
Yeah, so that's fascinating. A lot of business moving in. Now, there's some special visas, I understand, David, where if you invest a certain amount of money in a business, that helps expedite the process. Are you working with some of those deals too?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good program. It's a government sponsor program. It's called the EB-5 program, and the way it usually works is that you have sort of a two-tier approach. You can either invest $500,000 in what they call a regional center, or you can invest $1 million in your own project. Of course, that needs to be approved by the federal government. Now, the regional center is really just sort of a pool of investors that will put in each of them $500,000, and the result of that is that you eventually, within a 2 to 3 year period, you get your green card. So it's a good opportunity for those individuals that are looking to become permanent residents here in the U.S. to get to that goal.
Yeah, that's
so.
interesting.
So let me ask you a question. Some people would say, well, they're just buying their way to the front of the queue. What would be your retort to that? What would you say? Is this a good plan for America?
Well, that's a very good question. In fact, there was, I believe it was Time Magazine that had an article on this recently, it's the idea behind it is obviously to try to increase investments in the U.S. I mean, that's the idea, to bring money into the U.S. Unfortunately, some of our own companies have decided to go overseas, and some of those have been, some of those moves have been on the media lately, so these are people that are trying to bring money into the U.S. So I kind of look at it as a positive thing. Obviously, I think it all needs to be regulated as far as, the number of visas that are handed out and ensure that those people that are coming in are people that are wanting to, pay their taxes and essentially abide by all laws here in the U.S.
Paul, I got to wrap it up here pretty quickly. Paul Carroll, by the way, you can learn more about him at efficientwealthmanagement.com. David, give your, it's matoscpa.com, right? matoscpa.com.
That's correct. Yeah, it's Matos CPA.com, and you can find our contact information there as well as our address.
Right, absolutely. And real quickly, your final thoughts with about 30 seconds there, Paul.
Well, yeah, this is fascinating. I think it is a public good. I've heard criticism of the program, but we're in a world where there are tax inversions going on, which in English means companies are leaving America, and of course that's a whole other conversation. It's an issue of the most expensive and complex marginal tax rates in the world. So I think that anything that brings investment into the country is a good thing, and David, what you're doing, I believe, is a good thing for America.
Well, thanks to both of you gentlemen. I am Kevin Price. Do want to remind you, best content here, including this interview, can be found over there at usdailyreview.com, and this is The Price of Business.